Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Robin, your host and representative from Back to Your Roots Herbs. It is so good to have you here with me today. I want to have a serious yet really exciting conversation with you. It's about something that has been buzzing in the fitness circles, popping up in forums, and maybe even sitting in your partner's supplement cabinet right now. We are talking about Fadogia Agrestis, but, and this is a huge but, we are not talking about it for the guys. We are talking about Fadogia Agrestis for us, for women. You might have heard the whispers. Maybe you saw a fitness influencer mention it for gym aggression, or you heard it's a powerhouse for libido. But then you Google it, and everything you see says testosterone booster for men, male vitality, or sperm count. It's confusing, right? You're left standing there wondering, if I take this, am I going to grow a beard? Is it going to mess up my cycle? Or is this the secret energy switch I've been looking for? Today, we are going to clear all of that up. We are going to look at the science, the traditional use that often gets ignored, and most importantly, the safety profile that you need to know before you take a single capsule, especially if you have specific hormonal conditions like PCOS. Let's start with the basics. What is this plant? Fadogia agrestis is a shrub that grows in the savanna regions of West Africa, places like Nigeria and Ghana. In the local Hausa language, it's known as Bakin Gagai. Now in the West, we have pigeonholed this plant. We look at it and see natural steroid. But traditionally, it wasn't just about male virility. It was a systemic tonic. It was used to treat fevers, to help with kidney pain, and yes, to treat sexual weakness. But that traditional lens was much broader than our modern marketing allows. So why are women suddenly interested in this? I think it comes down to how we are feeling collectively. I talk to so many of you, and the common thread is fatigue. Not just I need a nap fatigue, but that bone-deep exhaustion where you wake up tired. Or maybe you're hitting the gym 5 days a week, eating right, but your body composition just isn't budging. And then there's the libido aspect. We don't talk about it enough, but female libido is complex, and when it crashes, it can feel like you've lost a part of yourself. So when you hear about an herb that boosts dopamine, the feel-good chemical, and optimizes androgens, it sounds like the answer. And for some women, it really has been. Let's break down what happens in your body if you take it. The primary mechanism of Fadogia is that it stimulates the release of Luteinizing Hormone, or LH, from your pituitary gland. Now, don't tune out on the science part because this is crucial for your safety later. In men, LH tells the testes to make testosterone. In women, LH tells our ovaries to produce androgens, specifically androstenedione and testosterone. Yes, women need testosterone. It drives our ambition, our muscle maintenance, our bone density, and our sex drive. In a healthy female body, those androgens are often converted into estrogen. So, by taking Fadogia, you are essentially turning up the volume on your body's own hormone production factory. You aren't injecting synthetic hormones. You are asking your pituitary gland to work a little harder. This brings us to the benefits that women are actually reporting. First, let's talk about the gym. If you are an athlete or just someone who takes their training seriously, you know that plateau feeling. You're lifting, but the strength gains have stalled. Women using Fadogia often report a significant increase in what we call gym aggression. Now, that sounds scary, but it's not about being angry. It's about focus. It's that feeling of, I can do one more rep. It's a drive that pushes you through a grueling workout. This makes sense because the plant contains leucine, a branched-chain amino acid that is critical for muscle protein synthesis. So you have this dual action, the hormonal signal to build muscle and the nutritional building block to actually do it. It's a powerful combination for body recomposition, dropping fat and building lean muscle. Then there is the libido aspect. This is where the anecdotal evidence is really strong. We have reports of women saying they feel like their old selves again. It's not just about physical arousal. It's about the mental desire, which is likely linked to that dopamine boost I mentioned earlier. Dopamine is the chemical of motivation and reward. If your dopamine is low, nothing feels exciting. Fadogia seems to help with that spark. There is also an interesting potential benefit for women who are on SSRIs, antidepressants. One of the most frustrating side effects of those medications is that they can dampen your love life. They boost serotonin, which is great for mood, but serotonin can suppress dopamine and libido. Because Fadogia works on that dopamine pathway, some women find it helps counteract those side effects, bringing some balance back to their intimacy. But, and we have arrived at the most important part of this episode, we have to talk about the risks. I cannot stress this enough. Natural does not mean harmless. Arsenic is natural. Snake venom is natural. Fadogia is a potent biological tool, and it is not for everyone. The biggest red flag is for women with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. If you have PCOS, or suspect you might, please listen closely. PCOS is often driven by a hormonal imbalance where your luteinizing hormone, LH, is already too high compared to your FSH. This high LH is what causes the ovaries to overproduce testosterone, leading to the acne, the facial hair, and the irregular periods that characterize the syndrome. Remember what I said Fadogia Agrestis does? It stimulates LH. If you have PCOS and you take Fadogia, you are pouring gasoline on a fire. You are taking a system that is already struggling with high LH and pushing it even higher. This can make your symptoms significantly worse. It could trigger severe breakouts, worsen hirsutism, and further disrupt your cycle. So, if you have PCOS, Fadogia Agrestis is strictly contraindicated. It is not the supplement for you. There are other beautiful herbs like spearmint or saw palmetto that might be better fits, but Fadogia is a no-go. The second major warning is regarding pregnancy and breastfeeding. We found something in the research that is rarely discussed on the supplement blogs. Fadogia contains compounds called anthraquinones. These are known to stimulate smooth muscle contraction. In the digestive tract, that means they act as a laxative, but your uterus is also made of smooth muscle. In traditional West African medicine, plants with similar profiles were sometimes used to induce labor. That means if you are pregnant, taking Fadogia could theoretically trigger uterine contractions and risk a miscarriage or preterm labor. Plus, we have absolutely no data on how it affects a developing baby. So if you are pregnant, trying to conceive, or breastfeeding, you need to stay away from this herb. It is just not worth the risk. We also need to touch on liver and kidney health. The animal studies on Fadogia showed that at very high doses, it could stress the liver and kidneys. It disrupted the cell membranes. Now, those were high doses, much higher than what you would typically take, but it tells us that this is an herb that your liver has to work hard to process. If you drink alcohol regularly, or if you take medication that is hard on the liver, like Tylenol or certain prescriptions, you need to be very careful. You don't want to overload your filtration system. So with all that said, if you are a healthy woman, you don't have PCOS, you aren't pregnant, and you want to try this for energy or libido, how do you do it safely? The key is dosage and cycling. Most supplements are dosed for men. You'll see bottles saying 600 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, sometimes even more. For a woman, that is likely too much. You want to start on the lower end of the spectrum. We are looking at around 300 milligrams per day. You want to see how your body reacts. Are you feeling that energy boost? Great. Are you feeling jittery or getting acne? Then it's too much. And you must cycle it. This isn't like a multivitamin that you take every single day forever. The general recommendation is to follow a protocol like 3 weeks on, 1 week off, or maybe 8 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Why do we cycle? 2 reasons. First, it gives your liver a break. It allows your body to clear out any metabolites and rest. Second, it prevents your body from getting lazy. If you constantly stimulate your pituitary gland with an herb, eventually, it might stop responding as well, or your body might try to compensate in other ways. Cycling keeps your body responsive and safe. I also want to mention the stacking trend. A lot of you ask about taking Fadogia with Tongkat Ali. This is a very popular combo. Tongkat Ali works differently. It helps free up testosterone by lowering SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. So theoretically, they work well together. Fadogia increases production and Tongkat Ali makes it usable. But again, if you are new to this, start with one. Don't throw a cocktail of new herbs at your body all at once. Start with one, see how you feel for 2 weeks, and then consider adding the other. I know this sounds like a lot of caution, but that is because I care about your long-term health. The goal isn't just to have a great workout tomorrow. It's to have a healthy, vibrant body for decades. Fadogia agrestis is a fascinating plant. It challenges the idea that testosterone support is only for men. It offers a natural way to reclaim some fire, some drive, and some strength. But it demands respect. It is not a magic pill. It is a tool. And like any power tool, you need to know how to handle it so you don't get hurt. If you decide to try it, listen to your body. If you feel great, wonderful. If you feel off, stop. You are the expert on your own physiology. I really hope this cleared up the confusion for you. It's about making empowered choices, not just following the hype. To learn more, please visit us at backtoyourrootsherbs.com. The direct link for information on Fadogia Agrestis for women is in the description below. Thank you so much for listening, and here is to your health, your strength, and getting back to your roots.